Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm bringing you my WWE Raw review for the 15th of December 2014. Now I really enjoyed this week's Monday Night Raw. Surprisingly, I watched it all in full and I really enjoyed it. Sometimes I skip through a few of the matches, some of the Divas matches, something like that. I sat down and watched every single bit of this Monday Night Raw, and out of it, I actually really enjoyed it, so I had to do a review on this week's Monday Night Raw. So from this week onwards, I think I'm going to bring Raw reviews back to the channel. Now I've got my channel all back and sorted, I think I'm going to start doing these Raw reviews again, but after this week's Raw, I really needed to do a Raw review. It was just that good. You might disagree, you might agree, I don't know, but that, my opinion was, it was a pretty good Monday Night Raw. First things first, you had Chris Jericho as the general manager of Monday Night Raw this week. You had Brock Lesnar returning, Brock Lesnar F5ing Chris Jericho. Then you had Chris Jericho against Paul Heyman, Rollins against Cena, a cage match, Cena again F5 by Brock Lesnar. Pretty much a pretty epic and memorable Monday Night Raw. Starting off, we had the guest host Chris Jericho as the GM. It doesn't get much better than that. A Monday Night Raw with Chris Jericho as the GM, you're gonna watch that shit. And obviously, it's great for ratings, but it's also really bloody entertaining. Chris Jericho is such a character. It made it a really enjoyable Monday Night Raw. They needed something like this to make it interesting, and by God, it was really funny. It was great. He did a nice promo at the start of the show, got the show rolling, and honestly, I forgot about all this crappy TLC pay-per-view. Chris Jericho's the GM. I thought it made a really good Monday Night Raw. It's nice to see Jericho back in the squared circle after about 2 months. I thought it was a nice touch for the WWE to bring Jericho back just after his tour and be the GM of Raw. How good was that? Anyway, we had 2 matches which were announced at the start of Monday Night Raw, obviously to keep you watching, enthralled in the show and looking forward to them. It was Cena against Rollins and Chris Jericho against Paul Heyman. 2 blockbuster matches that you definitely wanted to see later in the night. 2 great matches. Now, Big Show and Luke Harper defeated the IC champion Ziggler and Eric Rowan. Only one comment to make about this is, I don't understand why they're packing all this momentum behind the Big Show. Once again, the same result happens. Eric Rowan gets pinned by Big Show. The same thing that happened on TLC. Now, this is like 2 rematches in one. You had Big Show against Eric Rowan and Ziggler against Luke Harper. Pretty much 2 rematches in one match from TLC. And yes, once again, Big Show pins Eric Rowan. So once again, Big Show is picking up all that momentum for not really much reason and then squashing Eric Rowan at the same time. Why are they giving Eric Rowan all these losses? And why are they giving Big Show all these wins? The only reason I can think of this is because they're going to start putting Reigns against Big Show and they want to make Big Show seem strong. But you're also damaging Eric Rowan in the process. So once again, for the second night in a row, he takes a pinfall. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. The next match was Natalya and Alicia Fox defeating the Bella Twins. I'm not even going to comment on that. It was completely irrelevant. Chris Jericho featured Rusev and Lana on the highlight reel. Now this was really funny and actually ended up in a tease between Ryback against Rusev, possibly for the Royal Rumble for United States Championship. I definitely think that's a match I can get behind. It sounds intriguing, sounds interesting, and it's probably one of the only competitors Rusev has faced so far in his US reign where you believe Ryback could possibly win. This is the first guy you feel like that could actually beat Rusev for the title. Ryback against Rusev, 2 big guys, 2 strong guys, 2 young, hungry guys. Sounds like a really good idea, and that was teased on this segment by Chris Jericho, and it was a really funny segment. It was awesome. I really liked this segment. His jokes with Lana and Rusev were really funny, and then he made fun of Lana saying, shut up. That was really great, and I'm buzzing to see if Ryback and Rusev actually happens. The New Day that features Stardust and Goldust. Yes, this was a rematch from the kickoff show at TLC, so once again we have another rematch from TLC, which is really annoying. We don't want to sit through the same match again. Last night at TLC I complained about the New Day. I said, I don't understand their gimmick. What is this New Day gimmick? It's 3 black guys dancing around, being very immature, wearing blue capes and blue costumes, shouting New Day, and being really spiritual, but nobody understands the gimmick. It doesn't make any sense. What does the New Day mean? Nobody understands. I think a lot of fans are frustrated that Kofi and Xavier Woods and Big E are all being wasted on this crappy gimmick when they could be doing a lot better on their own. But I'm actually really starting to enjoy the New Day. I'm not liking the gimmick, but I'm finding their work in the ring really entertaining. And they worked a very good match against Stardust and Goldust on the TLC pay-per-view. But I feel like this match was even better. I thought this was a great match. Only one negative I thought about this match was the crowd really doesn't care about this gimmick already. At the TLC pay-per-view, they booed the New Day when Stardust and Goldust lost, or when the New Day broke up the pin, if you can remember. So fans don't really like this gimmick, but I think they work really, really well in the ring. So if this gimmick can get over, I can see it doing well. But at this point, if it's not over already, I don't see it going very far at all. But I'll give it a thumbs up anyway. Adam Rose against Kane was absolutely awesome. It ended with Kane putting a double chokeslam on Adam Rose and the Bunny, and then tombstone pile driving the Bunny in the middle of the ring. That was just a feel-good moment. I mean, Kane, this fucking badass, pile driving the Bunny and giving a double chokeslam to Rose and the Bunny. I mean, it didn't mean anything, but it was just awesome. It's one of those awesome things you see in wrestling which are just fucking awesome. If you're not a wrestling fan, you wouldn't like that, but it was cool. I don't know the point of it, but it was cool, okay? Jericho against Paul Heyman. A lot of negatives and a lot of positives about that. They had fans vote on the WWE app what match they wanted to see. Now, the options were like Extreme Rules, a street fight, and a no DQ match. Last time I checked, they were exactly the same stipulations. So what's the incentive for me to go on the app and vote when we're going to see the same match anyway? I mean, have they not thought of that? I mean, and I don't understand why they made us vote on the WWE app for them 3 matches when it wasn't even going to be a match anyway. Like, they could have been like Inferno match, cage match, or no DQ match. They could have done that because the match never happened anyway. But instead they gave us 3 the same stipulations to vote on. If there was one reason for them to put 3 random matches for us to vote on, it would have been that. But instead, they gave us 3 matches to vote for, which were exactly the same, and the match didn't even happen anyway, so what was the point in voting? You can plug the app all you want, but what's the point in voting if the matches aren't even going to happen? Anyway, the match never happened, which is really frustrating, because every time Paul Heyman's booked in a match, it never happens. Obviously, for understandable reasons, for physical reasons, it's never going to happen, but it's just frustrating when they book it, you wait for it to happen, and it never happens. But obviously it wasn't going to happen anyway. And this was pretty much just a setup for Brock Lesnar to come back. Now, Brock Lesnar comes out. The crowd absolutely pops. It was awesome. It was the first of 2 times he comes out tonight. Lesnar no-sold Chris Jericho's codebreaker. Usually, Brock Lesnar gets in the ring and just F5s his opponent. Jericho actually fought back. He gave him a codebreaker. Brock Lesnar sort of is dazed, looks at him and F5s him. Absolutely epic. Wow, I thought that was absolutely awesome. And then, after Brock Lesnar, which I thought was an awesome way to come back. I mean, one way to make an impact is to F5 Chris Jericho. I mean, he's one of the biggest guys in the company. If you want to make up for the time that you haven't been on Raw, Brock Lesnar, it is to F5 Chris Jericho. Come back in style, make an impact, F5 Jericho in the middle of the ring, no-sell his codebreaker. He looks like an absolute badass here. This built-up Brock Lesnar, if he really needs building up, in a hell of a long way. I mean, this was awesome. This was certainly a way to make up the time he's not been there. Then Fandango came to the ring, insulted Chris Jericho for that. Then Roman Reigns came out for no reason, really. I think it was just to make an impact. Roman Reigns, Superman punch, and then speared Fandango. And then Big Show tried to interrupt, and then Roman Reigns punched him too. I mean, I just don't like Roman Reigns. How they're booking him's really, really cringy. I mean, they're going for these cheap pops with the Superman punch and the spear. He does the same thing every time when he comes down to the ring. And I think the most frustrating thing is, fans are actually buying into it. Which just makes me really annoyed because I absolutely hate it. I see through it. I see it as being cringy, really embarrassing, not amazing. I mean, they're simply just booking him well. He's not great, they're just booking him well, and fans are going, oh my god, this guy's amazing. No, he's not amazing. I mean, they're booking him really, really strongly at the moment. They're making him look like a beast, but has this guy even had a good singles match yet? And he's been in the company for 2 years. No. Why are they booking him so strongly when he hasn't even proven himself yet? And he's ridiculously over as well. It's frustrating as hell how over he is, even though he's not even proven himself. They're just booking him strongly. Then Big Show tries to interrupt, and he actually kind of like no-sells the Superman punch. He doesn't no-sell it, but he's not really dazed. The story there is they're just trying to set up Reigns against Big Show for probably the Rumble, or maybe just on a Raw. I mean, I'm surprised they're not going to have Reigns in the Rumble, considering what he did this year. But that should be a good opportunity to put over Roman Reigns in the long run. So I guess it's a good idea if that's what they're trying to achieve. Jimmy Uso defeating The Miz. Once again, Mizdow, one of the biggest stars on the roster right now. Absolutely hilarious. It's so good. First thing, when I saw it, I hated it. Now, I think it's one of the best things. It's one of the only things I like about wrestling at the moment. Jimmy Uso defeating The Miz. I didn't like how this match finished. It sort of ended like it did at TLC, with them using the Slammy Award by hitting somebody and winning the match. The referee didn't see it, and Jimmy Uso won with the splash. But it was kind of done in heel fashion. Why are the Usos, the good guys, using a weapon to win the match? Are they hinting at a heel turn here for the Usos? Or was this just like really bad booking and they didn't really think about it? Or are they just trying to protect the champions, The Miz and Damien Mizdow? Who knows? It felt a bit strange. Not sure why they didn't just give the Usos the clean win here if they want to set up a tag match for the Rumble. I don't know, they just seem to protect everybody nowadays for no real reason. Then we went into the main event, steel cage match, an absolutely epic match. Rollins, Cena, another epic match between Cena and Rollins. When does Rollins have a bad match, and when does Cena have a bad match? This was fucking awesome, this was great, and then, sadly, it ended in a non-clean finish, but I thought it ended in the best way possible. Brock Lesnar comes out, F5 Cena, 3 German suplexes. Heyman shakes Rollins' hand, which was just awesome. Is he going to be the new Paul Heyman guy? Oh, I really hope so. I think that'd be absolutely amazing. I have a feeling they're only doing that so Rollins doesn't cash in on Brock. But I really wish he'd be a Paul Heyman guy. I think that would be the greatest thing ever. Rollins is a beast, so is Heyman. So then Rollins wins the match by walking out the cage. Big gripe is they didn't book Rollins to pin Cena in the middle of the ring. That would have been really cool. I mean, Rollins lost on TLC, so he lost a bit of momentum there. So why not give him some momentum by pinning the biggest babyface in the company in the middle of the ring? But instead, they booked Rollins to walk out of the door, which I think was a bit of a cheap way to protect Cena right there. But I thought it was epic. Brock Lesnar destroying Cena again, building up to that match once again. It's going to be the third match. It's going to be epic. I thought that was the best way to end Monday Night Raw. I thought it was great they had Rollins in the main event once again. This guy's doing great so far. He's ridiculously over. And then the closing image was Rollins standing tall with Jay and Jay Security. Great. That I think he got his momentum back, which he lost at TLC last night. So they booked him well. They had a great match against Cena, and he won the match in the end. Obviously, Brock Lesnar now looks like a beast. They built him up well to end that show. All in all, a pretty good Monday Night Raw. I'm going to give this week's Monday Night Raw an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. So the December 15th episode of Raw gets a definite thumbs up from me. As always, take care, spike your hair.